Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing very well. So I've been asked like how I come up with these topics for my YouTube channel, and I pray about it. And I try to sit and I try to reflect. I'm always looking, that's the sociologist in me, for things that I can use in an appropriate way. You know what I mean? I never want to put anybody's business or anything out there. And then it's just, going through life and I see something and I think it through and analyze it. Cause again, that's what I do for a living. But, I'm always just kind of reflective, on conversations I have with people or an experience I have or something that I see out in society. So this week's topic is based off of, it comes from, I should say, a conversation that I was having with a wonderful person, a friend in my life, and I did not get her permission or even tell her that I was going to do this, so I'm not going to put her name out there. But after I start talking, I think she knows exactly who she is. But we were having a conversation and catching up, and she's been a very good support system for me since I've lost my brother, and just checking in and helping me through some other, personal experiences. And so one of the things that I was telling her when we were talking not too long ago, and it's something that I say often about myself spiritually, because anybody who knows, me in this capacity knows how important my faith is to me. And one of the things that one of the type of person that I desire to be is to really just allow God to do what he will in my life. His perfect will. I'm prayerful that it plays out in my life. That's why I'm all about purpose and seeing the purpose that each of us was created for. And so along those lines, I will often say that, I get in my own way at times, and I essentially take the steering wheel, out of his hands. And so I was saying that to her. And so, she gave me a different perspective. That's one of my favorite words. She gave me a different way to look at it. And it was basically, she said to me, instead of maybe looking at it as you taking the steering wheel, maybe, you should look at it as you're handing the keys to somebody else. And I was just like, I got it. In the moment I was processing it for myself, but as I thought about it, I was like, that's the perfect topic for my YouTube. So hand the keys over. That is a goal for all of us this week. It's time to hand the keys over to somebody else. Now, how I'm going to tie this into purpose and everything is this, guys. My narrative of my life is now different, having lost my brother, and, the grief is different every single day. There are days where I have great days, and then there's days where I feel like I'm crying half the day. And it's just, it's the reality of it. And, I teach on, mental health in certain capacities. And, if this is something, I'll put it this way. It is now my story, and I often share personal stories. And if there's something I can pull out of this in a good way, I want to share it with somebody in hopes and prayers that it does help somebody. And so it'll probably be, woven into many stories I tell, whether it's here or in the classroom. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I admittedly am a person that has a difficult time asking for help. And those closest to me know that they just sometimes have to do it for me and just kind of bogart their way into, the space that they occupy and say, I'm doing this for you, whether, I've had, financial blessings. I've had somebody, just share a space with me. My best friend drove up and, stayed with me for a day. And just the conversation we had when I was in California, was priceless, and, when I was going through my divorce, I had a friend and, she would call me and say, hey, have Jaden ready. I'm picking her up in 15 minutes, so I think God knew I needed people like that in my life. And admittedly, through a bunch of different series of events that I've gone through, this last one being very heavy and very difficult to deal with, it's put me in a position of vulnerability where I've had to lean on people. God has brought some amazing new people into my life. And I'm getting better about allowing them the way I would be excited and want to bless somebody. I'm in a better space to receive. And so that's how I'm tying this in today. And basically, essentially, that's what I've had to do. I've had to take my keys and hand them over to somebody else. When you're driving with somebody in a car and, one of the most important things I think is to know that that person knows where they're going, right? Some people find an adventure out of being lost and, all of those sorts of things. And I have at it if that's you. I'm probably not the best passenger when somebody is driving and they don't know where they're going, because either I'm going to get on my phone real quick, we're going to pull over because I can't read in the car, but we're going to work together to get out of that situation, because I don't like the feeling of being lost. So I don't want somebody driving me around that doesn't know where they're going. I hope you see where I'm going with this analogy. The people you hand the keys over to need to be safe people. They need to be people who add value to your life, not people who take energy from you. They need to be the people that you trust, to pull over the car and they're like, hey, give me the keys. I got it. I will get us there safely. And now imagine that analogy in your life, in the times that you need help. And, a lot of the, young ladies that I mentor or students that I mentor or the people that are in my life, in some capacity of that way, they're doers, they're go-getters, they're making it happen. And sometimes they, my role is just to be a sounding board for them and to maybe help guide them in the right direction. But I think they trust me because I've been on that path in some capacity. And so they trust the value that I add to their life. And, there's something that they can benefit and, essentially know that I can help assist, get them to where they're going. And so living a life of purpose, you're going to hit hurdles. You're going to hit those moments where it just feels like everything is collapsing at one time. It's going to feel like every storm, anything bad that could happen is going to happen. It's going to happen. But on the other side of that, I can guarantee you there's a blessing and there's purpose that, God is trying to get to you. But sometimes we can't do it by ourselves. And sometimes we got to find the right people who know where they're going, hand over the keys and allow them to get us to where we're going safely. So I hope in a season where you find yourself just kind of all over the place and feeling like you need that assistance, you need that help, but maybe don't want to ask for it, seek out those people that you feel safe handing the keys over to, because I guarantee you, I know the people in my life that I've handed the keys over to lately, they have been an amazing blessing in my life, and I'm extremely grateful for them. So I hope that helps somebody. I hope you have a wonderful week or weekend whenever you watch this, and I will see you guys on the next video.